Good morning. Today we're going to talk about one of the most famous poems in Western history. Without this poem, Western literature would be very different. It might not exist. That's saying a lot, but if you read the poem, you'll soon find out just how much comes from it. The poem, the Odyssey. We find Odysseus, who is held prisoner on an island by a beautiful goddess of the sea, whose name is Calypso. And here you can see how fond Calypso is of Odysseus, and how Odysseus handles this difficult situation, for he is in effect a prisoner. Rescued from this desperate situation by a princess, whose name is Nausicaa. And all the women with Nausicaa are horrified to discover this naked, destitute man lying on their beach. But Nausicaa recognizes Odysseus as a man of destiny and saves him. Odysseus begins to weep and starts to tell the story. And so, the story actually begins in the middle, without Odysseus. And we don't find out what happened until halfway through the book. Here we see Odysseus, who has landed on a strange shore where it's filled with beautiful flowers that all the men eat and forget to go home. Odysseus grabs the men and carries them off. Right? We go again. Odysseus encounters a horrible giant, a one-eyed monster known as Polyphemus. They ask Polyphemus for food and wine. Polyphemus laughs, locks them up in his cave, and proceeds to start eating the men. They pour wine for Polyphemus. Drunk, he falls asleep. And they blind him, since he has only one eye. Right? Now that he is blind, they're still caught in the cave. How do they escape? Here's how they escape. The cave is filled with Polyphemus's sheep. The men hide under the sheep. Polyphemus must let the sheep go out to eat. And they escape. Back at the ship, they sail out of the harbor, but foolish Odysseus, who is smart in some ways, but proud and therefore foolish in other ways, cannot resist yelling at the monster, "Hey, stupid, we got away, and we've got your eye with us." Polyphemus then throws huge rocks at them and almost sinks the boat. But even worse, it turns out that Polyphemus is the monstrous son of the god of the ocean, and they have now thoroughly angered the ocean god. This will cause Odysseus great trouble getting home. And the final battle begins, at which Odysseus and his son ruthlessly slaughter every one of the suitors, hacking, cutting, stabbing, shooting. He defeats them all and reclaims his throne. Right? Reclaims his throne and his wife. Really ended scary, right? Reclaims his throne and his wife. If you have a chance to come take our class, I'm sure someone can tell me. Great story, you, and the story, if you've been better than I have a chance to. Thank you.